the smallest constituency, or fewer than 10. I think they have 6 elected in that constituency. It was just the one person nominated, and that person is the new Member of Parliament.
It's a remarkable situation, isn't it? I know in previous elections there have been, I think the most is 2 that were uncontested, but now here we go.
Yeah.
6 of the 20 in Parliament. It's astounding.
And this is something that I've been struggling to try and get an academic perspective about this electoral system that we have and the 6 common roll seats that we have. It is not mandatory for somebody to vote all 6, so they can vote up to 6. So the issue that we have as well is the low representation of the candidates, the successful candidates. For example, Richard Hipper, who topped the polls in 2020 with 440 votes. That only accounted for 39% of the electorate. And that's because people aren't using all the 6 votes on the ballot paper. Some are voting 1, 2, but definitely not 6. And that can be seen from the outcome, from the results.
That's an education issue, isn't it?
Yes, and the interesting thing is, the first thing when I spoke with the Chief Electoral Officer was that when he spoke about how to vote, he said that the most important thing is that people need to know if there is a village election, they will have to vote 1 candidate, so they have to leave only 1 name. And for the common roll ballot, they can leave 6 or fewer. So it's basically something that's coming out of the electoral office, that you can vote 6 or fewer names on the common roll ballot, rather than telling people to use your vote. I've had candidates come in for half an hour with me on radio, and a couple of the candidates have actually encouraged people to please use your 6 votes. Meanwhile, you have the electoral officials saying it's their right if they don't want to use their 6 votes. But then that's reflected in the poll. Not even 50% of the electorate are voting for the top 6 candidates in the common roll. I'm kind of struggling how to have this conversation and get people to fully engage and understand that it's not a good reflection on our democracy if only 39% or more than 40% vote for the common roll.
That's Yaesu FTdx10, the head of news at New Broadcasting. I'm Don Wiseman.
That was Esther Pavihi, the head of news at New Broadcasting, ending that reports from Don Wiseman. The United States is partnering with the Papua New Guinean government to try and prevent conflict and promote stability in Hela, one of the country's most violence-plagued provinces. Bloody political and tribal conflicts have claimed dozens of lives in the province, with ongoing law and order problems punctuated by spikes of unrest, resulting in the PNG Defense Force being deployed to help restore peace. Earlier this year, the U.S. State Department announced a 10-year strategy to help prevent conflict and promote stability in Papua New Guinea. An initial allocation of $10 million will go towards pilot initiatives in the provinces of Hela and Morobe, with a focus on elevating gender equity, equality, and women's empowerment. Troy Hawkins spoke about the 10-year strategy with Ann Wachowski, Assistant Secretary of the Bureau of Conflict and Stabilization Operations at the U.S. State Department. He began by asking about Ms. Wachowski's recent visit to Papua New Guinea.
Thank you. Yes, I recently returned from a visit to Papua New Guinea, and I was there to hold discussions to advance our work under the long-term U.S. strategy to prevent conflict and promote stability. As announced by President Biden last year, we're partnering with Papua New Guinea under the strategy. It is an effort that advances important reforms in the way that the United States partners with other countries to build resilience to violence or conflict. And we want to be part of PNG's growth as a leader in the region. Papua New Guinea has an important role among the Pacific Island countries as a leader in the regional economy, one with a history of democratic elections and a presence in regional and international organizations. So implementation of this U.S. strategy is an opportunity to strengthen our bilateral relationship with Papua New Guinea and put into practice our commitment to strengthening our broader partnership with the Pacific Island countries.
Now,